Today we'll be taking a look at the LASAL Machine Manager. To do that, we will create a simple class which will allow us to write. So we are now in the ETV project, which is the consumer station in this case. Go to our class tree view, right click on our project name, create a class, and now we can name our class something. So let's call it our Multimaster demo class. Right, so because we are interfacing with a server here, we need a client for that. So we'll right click on our class and say create a new client, and we'll call it C Multimaster client, CMM client, right? And that's a double integer, which is the default data type, and that server there is also a double integer. So that should match, right? Then we'll create a server, and we'll call this, let's say, write to Multimaster client, right? And for this server, we'll create a new write event. So we'll right click on our server, go to standard methods and select write, okay? And then we have a new method that will be called every time a value is written to this server here. So I'll just simply edit the code for that, and you'll see here that the value that is being written on the server is passed as input, and input is written to a local variable called write to client. So after that point, I'm going to insert my code, and that will simply be CMM client becomes, and then the value. So the value is the server name, which is write to client, and then I'll simply write the value out of the client. So I'll say CMM client dot write the value that is currently in CMM client. Right. This can also be achieved by simply using the client source code generator. So I'll right click where I want it, insert client update source code, select CMM client, make it right, and done. Right, so what is happening here is the value is received in input. It is transferred from input to a local variable called write to client. Write to client's value is written into the client, and then that is written out, and that concludes the method. Right, so placing an instance of this class, I can now connect my client to the server that is actually residing on the other station. Just auto-size this instance as well. I'll download this onto the ETV, and now without making any changes on the LAS CPU, I will simply make this a bit smaller, and I'll go to my LAS project, and again just get these two so you can see both on the same screen, and then here I'll write a value. So let's make it something like 9999, and immediately you see that 9999 is transferred over there, written over there, transferred over the network, and appears in my server here. And now I can change this value bidirectionally. So let's just say 2000, and immediately the value changes on the other station as well. Right, so that is an example of 4-byte variable transfer using the Multimaster station.